Okay, so what we're going to start with, we're going to start with a disclaimer. We're going to start with what ICE is, how it originated, why it's here, identifying immigration agents so you know who you're looking out for, know your rights, an overall overview, and then community observer training, because we are here for the community. We are here for the community. So, first things first, this information is provided and is not legal advice. I am not a lawyer, but this is information to help mitigate harm. This is information for you to help make wise decisions, informed decisions about how to help your neighbors and keep them safe from ICE and other immigration officials. So what is ICE? ICE signifies Immigration and Customs Enforcement, but the overall kind of underarching organization that it is under is the Department of Homeland Security. You'll see here on the screen and on the screen over there that U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Service, USCIS, ICE, Immigration and Customs Enforcement, Enforcement and Removal Operations, HSI, Homeland Security, and all these other alphabet soup words essentially mean that these are organizations created by the U.S. government to focus on immigration. Now, this isn't something that was created since the beginning of our country. This is relatively new. DHS is a federal agency that was controlled by and is controlled by the executive branch. DHS and ICE were created in 2003 following the Homeland Security Act in 2002, which is basically in response to the 9/11 attacks. This is a new organization. This isn't something that has been a part of our government forever, which means that we can learn how to work around them and how to, honestly, tell them to fuck off. Hey! Okay, so identifying immigration agents, you will see here on this screen or the one behind me. Usually they have a vest on that says Police ICE, Police Federal Agent, Police HSI, Police ERO, but generally speaking, they should be wearing a vest, right? I'm gonna say should one more time. They should be wearing a vest identifying themselves. Unfortunately, we are currently in a situation where ICE agents do not have to publicly identify themselves. Is that cool? No. So, ICE agents have also been going undercover. They've been wearing their badges. Sometimes they don't show a badge. I'll leave that as it is. Now there's also border control. So as you can see here, border control, they have it on their vest as well, and they kind of drive in this vehicle, which looks like, I don't know cars, what is that, a GMC? Don't know. It says border control on it. If you see ICE or think you see them, call or text the Dyer hotline. So the number is right here. Save it in your phones, okay? 888 Dyer SOS. So 888 347. Are you with me? 3767. Okay? We're going to bring it up a few more times. There are different posters around the room, but it's Dyer SOS. What is it?
Dyer SOS.
Thank you. You can see this little visual. Maybe you've seen it on Instagram. Hopefully you have. If you haven't, Dyer and Cosecha, New Labor, and a bunch of other really awesome organizations who have been fighting for immigration rights in New Jersey, they've been working all over the state. And you can see here, the vast majority of states are covered by the Dyer hotline. Or, sorry, the vast majority of the counties. Pardon me. All right, who has questions? I know this is a huge room. We were not anticipating this, I'll be honest. But if anybody has a question, be brave and ask. How about you?
What happens when you call the number?
So what happens when you call the number? So when you call the number for Dyer, a Dyer dispatcher talks to you, takes down the information, takes down the report, and then depending on kind of what the report is, whether it's, hey, 10 minutes ago I saw ice on Cookman, there were 5 different things, and we're gonna go into how to report that, right? So when we get that information from the Dyer hotline, then they reach out to the community and say, hey, can you go check out whether or not like ice is still there, what's going on with that? Is there anybody else here with the Dyer hotline who kind of go into that detail? We might not have them here, but that's essentially the overview.
Yeah.
Great job.
I guess I'm gonna go like this. Okay. Hi everyone. So the whole, you wanna put the map back on? And Allie's gonna explain more of this, like when you wanna make the call, what you're gonna say on the call, what you need to take a photo of. So Allie's gonna cover that, but just to like directly answer, and like people might be in and out, we'll kind of cover this a few times. So like Allie said, most of the state is covered by the Dyer hotline, which again is what number?
888 Dyer SOS.
There we go. It's like a car commercial or something, right? So, our group, Jersey Shore Immigrant Support Coalition, is the receiving end of the dispatched call. So for Ocean County and Monmouth County, when someone in the community calls Dyer, and Dyer feels like, okay, this is like valid information, at least to get it to the next step, calling our coalition is the next step. And so within our coalition are Dyer dispatchers. So a lot of us here are in the coalition. I'm not necessarily receiving the Dyer call, but people in our group are. We have like 90 people in the coalition, but after tonight, I think we have like 1,000. So that's does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, and then again, you're gonna hear like in a few minutes from Allie, but when she explains what you wanna tell the Dyer hotline, the best thing is in your phone, write these notes. So I'll just say it now and then we'll do it again when Allie does it. So in your phone where you have 1-888 Dyer SOS, which you have the numbers, in the note, what would be good for you to write is the date, the time, the specific location. It's not helpful when people are like, ice is in Neptune. That's just gonna cause panic, right? So exactly the corner, 123 Main Street, Asbury Park, New Jersey, and then what you see, how many officers you see, and what their vests look like, or no vest, or what their tinted car looks like, because they're not driving around in federal cars, and what their license plate has, and any photos and videos. So simply put, in your contact, in your note, you want date, time, specific location, like an actual address, and what you see, specifically the agents or license plate in cars, okay? We're gonna reiterate this, and I don't mean to step on your toes, but if people come in and out this way, that's the most important thing you can do.
Thank you, Angela.
Awesome, thank you.
So back in 2002 with DHS, it was a good thing. Now it's a bad thing. How do we get it back? That's because, you know, it was after 9/11 and I volunteered, I was all involved, and it was a positive, people from all over the world came to help, and it was such a positive thing. Now it's turned into this ugly, ugly mess. How do we get it back? Like, you know what, you get my point?
I get your point. Honestly, I don't have the answer for that right now. I think the answer right now is us as community kind of figuring out how to deal with the current situation, and then we'll eventually get there. I know that's not a satisfactory answer, but
Well,
that's
I
kind
mean,
of what I could give you right now.
But reaching out to politicians, you know,
Yeah.
trying to switch it back to what it was initially founded for.
If you want to do that, you are more than welcome to. I think that everybody kind of in this room has different political leanings and different kind of ideas with it.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to dive too deep into
Gotcha.
that.
Yeah.
But if that's what you feel called to do,
Yeah.
go for it.
Gotcha.
Okay. All right.
Yep, yep.
Okay, so now we're going to go into the meat of it, which is know your rights. So these are rights for everybody, regardless of immigration status, nationality, everything like that. These are our rights, okay? So, number 1, everyone has the right to remain silent. This is possibly one of the best rights we have. So, if it is a situation where an agent comes up to you, you can lawfully refuse to speak with them. You could say, I am choosing to use my right to remain silent. Just like that. Thank you. So, and then everybody has the right to speak to an attorney. The second best thing that we have in terms of our rights. You have the right to speak to an attorney. You do not sign anything if you are not with an attorney. You do not show any documents, anything without an attorney. Any attorneys in the room? Thank you. If you're an attorney, please sign the sign-up sheet. Help us out. Okay, but seriously, do not sign anything without an attorney because you don't know what is written. Even if you think that this is something that is fine, the most innate possible thing that could have possibly been written on paper, you are not an attorney. All right, so we have the right to remain silent and we have the right to speak to an attorney. Everyone has the right to refuse a search of their persons and property without a judicial warrant. Allie, what's a judicial warrant? I'm going to tell you. A judicial warrant is a warrant issued by a U.S. District Court and is signed by a judge. Now, something that we are unfortunately seeing from different ICE, DHS agents is that they are using something called a warrant of removal or deportation or an administrative warrant. It does not say here, U.S. District Court. That is not a judicial warrant. It's not signed by a judge, not a judicial warrant. If this does not have your name spelt correctly to the T, this does not apply to you. This is not an active warrant. My attorney's in the room, am I right? Thank you. So, nope, here we go. And address, exactly, and address. If they spell anything wrong, if they say they're looking for Allie Wilkins instead of Allie whatever, that's not right. They can't get me.
That's right.
All right, so number 4, everyone has the right to make a phone call if taken into custody. If you're taken into custody, say, I want my phone call. Be annoying about it. I want my phone call. I want my phone call. Everyone has the right to record ICE and police in public. So this is something that we are going to go into more in depth about how to record them. But just know, you're allowed to record them. You should record them. You are legally allowed to do so. Do not be afraid to. Be respectful. Take care of yourself. Don't do anything that'll get you in trouble in terms of acting out. But you are allowed to record them. As long as you do not interfere with the arrest, you can record and show what is going on during someone being detained, if ICE in your area, anything like that, okay? Those are our rights, some of our rights, but those are the most important rights when it comes to this, okay? The U.S. Constitution protects these fundamental rights for everybody, okay? Documented, undocumented, whatever. Any questions?
We still have a constitution?
Apparently. All right, way back. We're gonna have to.
Allowed to lie to you about your rights.
Yes, they can.
Hey, wow.
So ICE can lie to you. They are legally allowed to because they're trying to get information out of you to incriminate you. That is literally a part of the playbook. So that is why we have the right to remain silent. Thank you. All right. So we have these. Oh, go for it.
Say you're picked up and you get a phone call. Who's the best person to call and what do you want to tell them when you call them?
Question.
Yeah.
Awesome. So the question is, if you get picked up, you make your phone call. Who do you call? Not Ghostbusters. Your attorney, if you have one. If not, someone trusted to you, where you could say, hey, I am in this situation, call an attorney. Don't talk about the situation, just be like, hey, I need an attorney, right? there are different resources in regards to like different, I think there's the National Lawyers Guild and
ACLU.
the ACLU as well, but those are kind of resources that you could use, okay?
National Lawyers Guild is in New Jersey.
Oh, it's not New Jersey. National Lawyers Guild's not in New Jersey. That's rough.
ACLU.
The ACLU, New Jersey, okay?
And the red cards that you're going to talk about,
Yeah.
they could put the number on it if they want to.
So that kind of goes into the next part, which is the red cards, right? Who knows what a red card is? Raise your hand. Okay, we're gonna get everybody's hand raised after this. So, a Know Your Rights card is known as a red card, and it explains what your rights are. So, if you are ever in a situation where ICE comes to your house, do not open the door. Don't do it. You do not have to do it. Do not open the door, okay? And all of this is written on your red card to help remind you what you can do to protect yourself, protect your neighbors, and protect your family, okay? Number 2, do not answer any questions. That goes back to our right to remain silent. Thank you. That is the loudest silence I've ever heard. Okay? Do not sign anything without an attorney. Please, don't do it. Once again, do not sign anything without first speaking to a lawyer or attorney. You have the right to speak with a lawyer. That was the right that we just talked about.
That's right.
If you are outside of your home, ask the agent, am I free to leave? Am I being detained? Ask it. If they say no, carefully, gently, thank you, walk away, right? Do not run. If they say, no, you're being detained, don't do anything, just kind of be chill, right? So ask the agent if you are free to leave, and if they say yes, leave calmly, okay? I went through a lot. How can I help?
If they say you're being detained, ask for the reason that they have for your detention. That just gives you more information. After that, say you are invoking your right to remain silent. If you just remain silent, you have not invoked it. I know that's stupid. Thank the Supreme Court for that.
And you are?
An attorney.
Any other questions? Anything? So, we went through, way in the back. You're going to have to yell.
I think you had said before when somebody, if you have to call somebody, like call a trusted friend, not to talk about anything, is that because you should assume all lines are being recorded?
Yeah, right?
Yes.
More or less, yes.
Yes, every line, if you are in a jail, if you are in any kind of detention, if you're in a police station, you're being recorded.
That's true.
That's a pretty fair statement.
The only thing I would add is say where you are so that they can find you.
So the question was, when it comes to talking to someone over the phone, if you are detained, should you, remember how I said, don't talk about your case or anything like that? That is because people are allowed to listen in to your conversations if you are in jail or detained. Okay? Sound good?
Yes. Are there places?
Is there a place to get the red cards in languages other than English and Spanish?
Yes, there are. Okay, there are plenty of places where you can get that information. Do you know the website?
So the red cards are really, can you hold this? So a lot of people are asking, what can you do? If you have access to a printer, a hugely helpful thing you can do is to go to the Immigrant Legal Resource Center, ILRC, and the red cards that Allie's talking about is available in 56 languages. And our volunteers are like the most talented and skilled people that exist, and we have even more languages added. People in this room have translated them into other South Asian languages that are not even online on that website. But again, it's Immigrant Legal Resource Center. If you send our Instagram account a message, we can send it to you, or just look up. And if you forget that whole thing, if you just remember red card, you can find it that way. And so the special thing about this is, as you can probably imagine, people that we're advocating for might not be able to speak up and say in English, I have the right to an attorney, or I'm gonna remain silent. So the point of the red card is it lives in their wallet, and it's in the language they speak, and also in English. And so the idea is if they get pulled over, they're gonna hand, in an ideal situation, the agent, the English side. and that they know what they're trying to communicate. Yeah, I'll leave it at that. So red card, and you can print them. If you don't want to find it and you just want to help us print, you can send us a message and we'll send it to you. And you could print and laminate and cut and put them on different colors, and that would be super helpful.
Awesome. All right. So that was Know Your Rights. Everybody remember what we kind of talked about? We talked about our right to remain, our right to speak to an attorney, our right to not be searched. That one's a little bit harder. That was not in the beginning.
Well, I think with the, yeah.
So, give it up for Allie. So, I think we're at a bit of a, I think we are at a bit of a peculiar situation, and a good one, in which a lot of people showed up. As a matter of fact, maybe more than was anticipated. So what we really want to do is run that back for the people that are like standing outside.